now put you through to one of our teams. But before doing that, because of the high demand for our services, we have to limit the duration of each call up to 30 minutes. Thank you for your understanding. I will now put you through. Hi, if you play back.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm hoping that you can help me, please. I'm in a very, very difficult situation. Basically, I'm a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. The perpetrator was my biological father. And I didn't report when I was a child, or even up until I was quite, kind of into my 40s, because, well, a number of reasons really. The main being that he used to threaten me when I was a child, and that absolutely destroyed me. It kind of affected my ability to trust anyone. I was frightened and timid all of the time. I was like frightened to even say boo to anybody, to be honest. So I kind of grew up kind of trying to put it in the back of my mind, pretending it hadn't happened, as it were, trying to get through life the best way I could. It was only until after the death of my late maternal grandmother, in my 40s, that I kind of took a moment to kind of put things into perspective, if you like. The other thing is at that point, my nan really was the one in my family that was closest to of all. So I had nobody to look after, I had nobody to protect, I had nobody to bring shame upon.
Yeah.
So basically, I decided, that I had to report him, because otherwise I never would, and I would potentially regret it. Unfortunately now I'm in a situation where I actually regret reporting it. It's bonkers, I know, but hey. So I reported the abuse to South Wales Police. An investigation took place, and he was subsequently charged with 9 counts of rape of me. The case went to court. There were 3 trials. The first one was a discharge because of a problem with evidence. Second 2 were hung juries, so the jury were unable to reach a unanimous decision. After the 3rd trial, I was led to believe there would be another one, and that it would be, the 4th and final, as it were. And I was basically lied to. 2 weeks after the trial, I was waiting for the date of a new hearing, and 2 police officers came to my door that I'd never even met before, with a hand-delivered letter from the CPS. And in that letter it said that we're not taking another trial. There has to be exceptional circumstances to enable us to do so, and that's it, we're closing the case. It was no exaggeration to say that I almost ended my life that weekend. My mother had to come and sit with me, take away my keys so I couldn't go anywhere, because I'd never ever been a violent person, but I wanted to kill him in that moment. I had no support from the police thereafter, absolutely none. They basically dumped the letter on me and walked away. They didn't even stay to make sure it was okay. And I was far, far, far from okay. Leading on from there, just prior to me actually giving evidence in court against my abuser for the first time, false allegation was made against me by someone very, very malicious, and I was arrested. Now, I have no history of violence or any criminality or anything. I'm really, really proud of that, to be honest. And 3 police officers came to my door, 2:30 a.m. in the morning. They were very, very aggressive, very, very confrontational. When I was a bit grumpy because I don't sleep well the best of times. So I said to them, look, come back in the morning. I just want to go back to bed, leave me alone kind of attitude with them. I said, no, you're not coming in. They said, we need to come in and speak to you. I said, well, 2:30 in the morning? No, you're not doing that kind of thing. I said, come back in the morning. And they said, we're not going anywhere. We're here to arrest you. I said, what for? And they refused to tell me. And then, quick as a flash, before I even had a chance to react, because I was tired. Not that my reactions are particularly quick anyway, but because I was tired, they put their hand through the door, through the window I was speaking to them through, turned the key in the lock, which was the opposite side. The door opened very, very quickly and very, very swiftly, and all three of them barged in and attacked me. So that really, 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 really badly traumatised me as well. But, you know, my focus at that stage was on the trials against my abuser. So I kind of didn't deal with it, I don't think, to be honest. You know, didn't process it, process the attack. I kind of got on with the trials. But then in the interim period, I took civil action against South Wales Police. And I was awarded £40,000 compensation, and I received a meaningless apology. However, that's where the problems really, really began, as is with the police very, very often against survivors or those who challenge them. They're malicious, they're vindictive, and they will do anything it takes to get that person back, anything it takes and to cover their own wrongdoing. Whilst the compensation and the apology was quite sort of nice, I don't think that's the right word, but it kind of rectified a little bit. It didn't take away from the fact that I took the civil action for accountability rather than money. You know, it wasn't about financial reward at all. You know, if they said to me that you can have £40,000 or we'll sack the 3 officers, I would have said sack the 3 officers every single time, you know? And ultimately, the 3 officers that attacked me weren't sacked, they weren't even disciplined. They were given management action or management advice or something, which is basically a slap on the wrist, don't do it again. So I have fought and fought and fought and fought for accountability. I've made endless complaints to the IOPC, and nobody will ever listen. So I live in quite a small village in Wales, and the police station where the 3 officers are based is a small, police station, community police station. So, again, it wasn't enough for them to do, you know, what they did the first time, because I've been calling for, accountability for 3 officers, they did it again. They did it again to intimidate me and silence and oppress me a bit more. And I think, you know, that attack, the second attack by police officers, was the result of a cosy little chat in the community police station that went along the lines of, oh, that Louise is a pain in the neck. She's trying to get us sacked. She keeps on and on and on, putting complaints in about us. We're fighting for our jobs. And someone with some kind of misplaced loyalty said, oh, don't you worry about her. We'll get her. We'll shut her up for you. Don't you worry. Your job's are safe. Don't you worry about it, love. We'll sort it out. So basically, leading on from there, I was arrested the second time on the 21st of January 2024, and that arrest was for Section 2 under Protection from Harassment Act. They didn't have a warrant, they had no grounds for entry. I was arranging a voluntary attendee with them. I basically said to them, I will attend the voluntary attendee as soon as I can get my solicitor and an appropriate adult in place to ensure my safety. I will attend. I actually sent that to them via email. They wouldn't wait. They want, because, you know, ultimately by waiting for the voluntary attendee, they're not intimidating me then, are they? I got my solicitor and appropriate adult with me, so they can't attack me.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you know, like I said, by waiting, it wouldn't have achieved their objective. It wouldn't have achieved their intimidation. So they didn't wait. So I had 4 officers at my door. Now, bear in mind, I'm 5 foot tall, very, very vulnerable, and I'm also disabled. On the 21st of January, and the 4 officers attacked me a second time. So the like I said, they entered my broke into my property without authority to do so. I rang an ambulance stating that I had chest pains and I was suffering from severe anxiety and I needed an ambulance and I needed one now. They called the ambulance down, called the ambulance off, and basically they got in, they attacked me a second time, and then leading on from there, ironically, it's absolutely, you couldn't make this up, honest to God, I can't believe all this is happening to me. Leading on from there, they dropped the protection from harassment because there was no evidence at all. You know, I hadn't done it. So that was NFA'd. But they've said that I assaulted a police officer, which is absolute nonsense. So now I have to go to court and I can't bear it. So I need some sort of advocacy or some kind of support or someone to speak to the police on my behalf. Because I cannot bear it anymore. If I go to court when that scumbag rapist got away with what he did to me, charged with an offence I haven't even committed, I'm telling you I will end my life. It's just too much.
Yeah. And have you been in contact with any solicitors then?
I have got a defence solicitor, but therein lies my other problem, you know. I am taking civil action against the police for a second time round, but this time I haven't got a solicitor to act for me. So it's really hard. I'm a litigant, what's called a litigant in person, doing it all myself, but my God, that is hard. Really hard. And I've spent a fortune on legal expenses for barristers in courts and things like that. A fortune. So by the time I, had a nice holiday and I paid off a couple of debts and I paid legal fees, my compensation is gone. Completely and absolutely gone. So I have a very small pot of money left. Very small pot of money left. And my defence solicitor is privately funded and I'm running out of money to pay her, so I'm going to have to get a legally aid funded one. So I'm going to have to swap solicitors now, and it's just too much for me to pay. It's too much. So I need, I need something practical put in place. I need some kind of safety plan because I'm living in fear that they'll come back all of the time. I've got this absolute crap abuse of power on my plate. Being accused of something I haven't done to deflect from their own criminality. They refuse to give me the body cam footage. And after the body cam footage, what they refusing. I'd like to say at this point, I have never, ever, I'm 51 now, I've never, ever so much as slapped anybody. I'm not violent at all. It's ridiculous to suggest that someone disabled to 5 foot tall would start throwing their weight around with 4 police officers. We have all the men. Are they for real? And I'm frightened. I'm really frightened. And I could end up in prison. Really frightened. This situation is unlivable. It's unsurvivable. So I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Sorry?
I said you shouldn't be having to go through any of this. I really don't know. You shouldn't.
So what practical solutions are you able to help? Are you able to help with advocacy or liaison with the police and stuff like that?
We don't provide any advocacy or anything like that. What we are is emotional support over the phone. And the links that we have are listed on our website. In terms of for this, we don't kind of have any signposting for this type of thing. It's a lot to do with the child abuse lawyers and, solicitors that way for civil service claims. But in terms of legal support for this type of issue, I wouldn't have any signposting.
So when you say legal for child abuse claims, civil child abuse claims, what do you mean? Was to seek out or to?
Yeah, civil justice claims. Yeah.
So I got a private civil justice claim against the police. Can they help with that?
Yeah. So this have you been on our website?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So on there is a legal advice page, but they have some solicitors listed on our website. They're specialist solicitors for historical abuse. So they are obviously specialists in that area, so they can offer support in that, and a lot of them offer 30 minutes of free legal advice.
Okay, do you have to refer me to them, or do I have to contact them myself?
Yeah, so you can contact them yourself. So the people that are the specialist people in that division are listed on our website. So it's under legal information and law firms, and then you will find that list of all the different people on there, and you can choose which one you want to contact. But they have their names on there as well listed, and the numbers and email addresses.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we are here if you just want to speak with. I know that you're wanting that practical support right now.
I have got a little bit of support from others, but it's just not enough. Nobody is willing to step up and say to the police, hang on now, what the hell is going on now? What do you think you're playing at here? Nobody will help me. There's no advocacy support services that will say, hang on, what you're doing to this girl is unlawful. What you're doing to this girl is just not on. You're killing her.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that you said it was the IOC you'd report.
IOPC, yeah.
IOPC, yeah. And have you heard of the Operation Hydrant as well?
No, I haven't. Have you done? Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say that Operation Hydrant, they also kind of govern how the police deal with different types of cases and stuff like that. And if you have any kind of issues with any officers or particular police station, then you can also report those concerns to them as well.
But do you know what? I have reported South Wales Police to every single possibly so-called regulatory authority that I can. IOPC, HMI, CFRS, they regulate the so-called inspectorate. The NCA, you name it, my MP, the Parliamentary Ombudsman, every single one of them stonewalls. Every single one of them without question. You have a dismissive email back saying, "Oh, we can't help you," and then they ignore you or they block you. There's just no help or support anywhere at all. Solicitors won't take on a civil case unless it's absolutely 100% bona fide. Where do we go? Where do we go? Who helps us? When the police marginalise us, when the police, suppress us, oppress us, when the police, are the very ones that are perpetrating the harm, we're in a perpetual, never-ending trauma cycle that never ever ends. We're going round in circles, chasing our tails, and make no mistake, South Wales Police have thrown me to the wolves. How am I meant to survive this? How am I meant? Because I've challenged the authority, because I've made a complaint, because I've asked them for, to bring me some kind of justice. They didn't put a restraining order in place for my abuser. After the trials ended, they didn't give a shit about my safety, not a monkey's. They didn't put, anything in place to safeguard the community or me from him. A child abuser charged with 9 counts of rape. There was no sexual risk order. There was no restraining order. There was nothing. I begged and begged and begged them to put a sexual risk order on him, to acknowledge that he was an abuser, to give me something, No, I wouldn't even do that. What the hell is going on? get my head around it, you know? They dragged me out of my house and attacked me twice. 7 officers attacked me, all in all. You know, they've never been punished. Did they drag him out of his house? Child abusers, piece of crap. No, did they, hell? You know, they voluntarily attended him. I just can't reconcile the disparities. I just can't get my head around the disparities. I mean, there's just no comparison. I was arrested for some of the only offences I hadn't even committed. Well, you know, whilst he was on suspicion of indictable offences, which he had committed. I just can't get my head around that. So basically then I took to social media to put his name out to warn others that he's a child abuser and everybody should be careful, and he's a child rapist and everybody should keep the kids safe. What does South Wales Police do? Continue harassing him. So I had to go to a volunteer training at the station, which cost me £2,500 for my sister to attend to make sure I was safe to deal with that. I mean, there was no chance in hell of that ever passing the public interest test. There was no way a judge would say what I had done to warn the public against a child abuser wasn't in the public interest, and it wasn't reasonable. There was no way that they could have successfully prosecuted on that. No way. But yet they choose to do it anyway again to intimidate me. Like I said, it's all about intimidation. It's all about shutting me up. It's all about shutting me down. And ultimately, I genuinely believe that someone's pretty hard trying to kill me. There is no other viable explanation. There's none. And it's probably going to achieve it very, very soon. I cannot do it anymore. Sorry? Too much of anybody, even the strongest person to deal with. You know, it's just too much.
You deserve a lot better than this, don't you? You're just trying to get through it right now.
Didn't deserve what happened to me in the first place. I just wanted support. I just wanted them to listen. I just wanted them to give me some kind of recognition that he'd abused me and some kind of justice, you know? Or even if they said, okay, you know, even if they came to me now and said, okay, we're sorry, we're really sorry, we messed up. It would be something, you know? I cannot reconcile the 7 officers and a child rapist being essentially given a free ticket to abuse me, because South Wales Police are no different to him, no different to Robert Witchell, the abuser. They're doing exactly the same thing as he did to me. You know, I'm an adult now, but I'm no less vulnerable than I was when I was a child. They're basically saying to me, shut up, you know, don't tell anybody or else. That's what they're essentially saying. Exactly the same as Robert Witchell said to me when I was a child. And do you know what? The most overriding, memory that I got, as well as the abuse, is feeling helpless. I was absolutely helpless. He was doing what he was doing. It was hurting. I didn't like it. It was horrible. It gave me anxiety. It made me feel really, really uncomfortable. It made me bleed. And he was telling me to shut up, put up with it, and say nothing. Well, aren't South Wales Police doing the same thing? Yeah. And it brings back, triggers those memories all of the time, and it's horrible. It triggers those memories of what he did to me. You know, every time the police stonewall me, every time they come back with a dismissive email, every time they say, oh, well, you know, you don't matter, you're not worthy. I'm not 11-year-old kid again. I said, there was nothing I could do about it when I was a kid because I was frightened. And I was exactly the same now. I'm like, how do we do that? What do I do? Take over. Yeah. That I'm hoping that she's going to put in an abusive process hearing, but again, the judiciary are just as complicit as the police. They don't listen, they don't do anything they're asked of. So, and I'm going to ask for
should pursue this without any evidence,
They do though, and they have, because that's how they get their way, isn't it? That's how they get, that's how they shut people up. Because if they put me in prison, that'll be the ultimate, wouldn't it? And shut up. They've achieved what they set out to. Yeah, I'm going to ask the jury trial, because I'm hoping the jury would see it, how vulnerable I am. And I'm little, and I can say, I can look them in the eyes and say, I have never, ever in my life ever attacked anybody. I'm not going to attack 4 police officers when I'm under siege, already I'm frightened out of my mind. Make no mistake, I was frightened. I'm almost hysterical on the phone to the ambulance service, begging them for help. So, like I said, it's a jury trial, but, it just criminalises survivors for speaking out, doesn't it? I spoke out against the failures of Southwest Police to bring a scumbag to justice, because it was ultimately the screw-ups of Southwest Police in failing to get all the evidence in place that led to him not being found guilty. And notoriously, these cases are hard to prosecute. I realise that. But if Southwest Police had done their jobs, he'd be sitting in a cell and I wouldn't have be dealing with this,
Yeah, you should be able to go.
And I know him sitting in the cell wouldn't alleviate all my problems, they wouldn't wave a magic wand, but it'd be something.
Yeah, it needs justice in some way, isn't it? Having a bit of justice.
Yeah, it would be something, would be some acknowledgement. Just one person, rightly punished for what they did to me. Essentially, basically, Southwest Police are saying, do what the hell you like to and you'll always get away with it, not a problem. Because now, they won't act on any reports I put in. They will not act on anything at all. I reckon if I got broken into this evening and rang 999, they wouldn't come. They wouldn't come. And, it's not as if we got anybody else to turn to, is it? It's not like a supermarket or a bank, so if one annoys you, you can go to another.
Yeah.
The police are our only hope. And who do we turn to when they let us down? There's no one.
Whatsoever. And and it is hard to have that energy to keep fighting, isn't it? I hear that. You're just trying to fight for what's right, because you shouldn't be having to go through this. And those people that have hurt you, they haven't been held to account, and that's not right. You're just trying to fight, and sometimes it can be really exhausting.
I am exhausted. I'm completely and absolutely exhausted. But not only that, my health is taking a massive, it's deteriorating fast. It's bad enough to have the disabilities in the first place, but to deal with this and the disabilities on top as well as everything else is just, like I said, too much.
Yeah.
Too much. And the problem is if I contact these solicitors now, am I wasting my time? Because they'll just turn around and say, oh no, you haven't got a case, go away. So that's what most solicitors say. So that's why I asked you refer.
Yeah.
Because, I contact the solicitors that you got listed on your website. Will they say to me, oh no, you haven't got a case, go away, we can't help you? Because that's the barrier you come up against every single time, unless you got a solicitor's very greedy. Unless you got 100% bona fide case, they don't give a monkeys. They won't take it on.
No, it's wrong, and you need somebody in the corner to be able to help you fight all this, because you can't do it all by yourself. It's finding those right people, isn't it, to be able to do that. And I know that, in terms of legal kind of things, I know we haven't been too helpful today. We just know that we are here to speak to, so hopefully that will make you feel in some way less alone if you just have somewhere to put it, hopefully.
Okay.
Yeah. Best of luck with it all, okay? Best of luck with contacting those solicitors. And maybe even if you give us a call next week and just let us know how you got on with it, or check in there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Look after yourself best you can, okay? And I just want you to know as well, because I know that it can feel like nobody believes you and nobody's supporting you, but I just want you to know that I do believe you. I believe all of this has happened to you, and it shouldn't have, okay?
Thank you.
Alright, you take care.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.